Hello everyone, my name is Declan Carolyn from ECR Community and welcome to the ECR CatMan Network webinar which focuses on the 8-step approach to category management. And today our webinar is going to be hosted from Italy and we'll have presentations from the Ergon Group and from the Amadori Group focusing specifically on category management for fresh food. And let me come back to that in a second. Let me talk to you first of all about what we're doing within the CatMan network, very briefly, because I think most of you probably know at this stage. Our objective is to promote the 8-step approach to category management globally and also to share best practice examples on how category management works well, and that'll be particularly a focus of today. We have an expert group within our CatMan network. And we have 5 subgroups. We have our Insights and Research group, a Category Management Department group, the role of AI in category management, and Tools and Technology group, as well as our 8-step approach to category management. Let me share a few updates which we have to date. First off, our CatMan 8-step process group is facilitated by Antonella Altavia from ECR Italy and Fatima Merlin from Brazil, and we'll hear from both Fatima and Antonella shortly. We've been busy. We've had a number of webinars recently. We've had our first webinar on the 8-step process group, which was hosted by Brazil, when we had Fernando Dalbin of Dalbin Supermercados and Eduardo Bezerra of Reckitt Brazil both present in March about how brilliant use of the 8-step approach to category management, in particular case studies which they have had. And we'll follow that up by today when we're going to feature Tommaso from the Amadori Group and Chiara from the Ergon Group, who are going to talk about fresh categories as a growth engine and driving differentiation and store-wide spillover effects through category management. Another big part of what we do within this group is every month we will publish an insight article focusing on the implementation of category management. Naturally, we kicked off with 2 articles which were published by Fatima and Antonella, and that was followed up by 2 really great articles from Dr. Brian Harris, who invented the 8-step approach to category management, as you know, and George Mirza from the US, who looked at same questions, different retail reality. All of these articles are hosted on our ECR CatMan Network website, and I would encourage you very much to keep up and keep in touch with what's been published there. We've had a number of webinars recently. On AI, we had a webinar in March where we had Google, the University of Freiburg and Pernod Ricard all talk about category management. And you know, if ever there's a time to talk shop and discuss and chat about the time is now and how AI can effectively be implemented in category management. And that's exactly what Stefan from GS1 Switzerland and Arbor from Zenline AI did when we had a webinar in May and talked about from prompt to decision AI agents in category management. Similarly, we've had 2 presentations on the latest tools and technologies for category management. In April, Standard AI, Symbi Robotics and Picasso all joined George Mirza to talk about their latest innovations, and we followed that up recently, just a couple of weeks ago, when Coolor AI Group, Panasonic Connect Europe and Hofrogge joined George to talk about their latest products. Look, our objective is to host a webinar every month that will allow category managers to keep in touch with the latest innovations in AI and in tools and technologies. And we do have a schedule on our website which will show you when the next presentations are going to occur. Let's get back to today, and I want to welcome onto the ECR stage our 2 presenters today, because I think Matteo is unavailable today, unfortunately. So great if we can welcome Tommaso from the Amadori Group and Chiara from the Ergon Group. Good morning, Tommaso and Chiara.
Good morning.
How are you? Chiara, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Perhaps you can let us know what you're going to be talking about today.
We talk about Ergon category management and our Ergon show to category management, the approach of category management in Ergon, that is one of Southern Italy leading retail group.
Fantastic, Chiara. Thanks so much. And Tommaso, welcome on board. What are you going to be presenting today?
Good morning, and today we will discuss how to break the traditional mold of the meat category. And our focus will be on driving real financial value through consumer-centric category management.
So, look, this is a really unique take on category management because it's a direct focus on fresh food. I think traditionally when people think of category management, we think of the middle of the shop and perhaps multinational brands. But there's no reason at all, and in fact every reason, why category management for fresh foods can deliver even greater growth. So looking forward to hearing from both Chiara and Tommaso shortly and representing Italy. But to kick us off, delighted to welcome the two moderators for today's session, Antonella and Fatima. Good morning, Antonella and Fatima.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
I'm here. It's great. Anxious to this webinar.
Fatima, I'm going to pass over to you, and you're going to give us an introduction.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here to share some information related to our 8-step subgroup. Let me share my presentation. As Declan told us, within the ECR CatMan network, we operate through a number of thematic subgroups as insights, tools and technology, etc. And each of these strengthens a critical pillar the evolution of CatMan around the world. Within this structure, the Antonella and I lead the 80-step approach subgroup. Our mission is simple but essential. We ensure that the 80-step methodology is not perceived as a theoretical or conceptual framework, but as a living, applied, and business-relevant process around the world. We move the conversation from knowing the model to using the model to drive results. That means translate structure in action, methodology into execution, and principles into measurable impacts, share best practices through the world. The 80-step approach remains the backbone of modern CatMan, from defining the category and its role to assessment, objectives, strategy, tacticals, implementation, and review. But the real value does not in the steps themselves, it lies in how they are applied in real business. As a subgroup, we focus on four key pillars. First, illustrate the 80-step in practice. Second, showcasing real implementations for retailers and manufacturers. We bring concrete cases in different countries. Third, generate actionable learning, extract insights that participants can immediately apply in their own organization. And fourth, encourage the replication our best practices across countries so that excellence in one market can inspire progress in others. More than this, more than just content, we are building a global movement, as Declan told us, to transform the 80-step approach in real-world practice. To achieve this, we focus on two major initiatives: quarterly webinars and most articles written by experts and subgroup members, as Declan showed us. Here are some examples of our monthly articles. They are available in our website, ecrcatmannetwork.com. Related to webinars, they are organized by country. They feature local cases that respect different market dynamics, maturity levels, and cultural context. And at the same time, they remain fully connected by a shared and consistent methodology. This balance between local relevance and global structure is what makes the 80-step approach truly powerful. In summary, our subgroup assures that the methodology continues to evolve, not as a static model, but as a dynamic, practical tool that drives collaboration, alignment, and measuring growth around the world. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Fatima. Look, I love what you say there about local relevance and global structure. Even on our call this morning, we've got people from Ireland, Brazil, and Italy all presenting. And I know we've got 53 people online from all over the world. Today's been hosted by Italy. The last webinar was hosted by Brazil, and our next two webinars on the 8-step approach are going to be hosted by China and by Greece. So truly is global. But we all like to learn a little bit about the local structure. So, in talking about the Italian market and where category management fits in, Antonella, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Declan. Hi, this is the Italian market overview, retail market. The Italian market is around 100 billion euro, and it is the fourth largest in Europe. And in the last years, discount channel was growing very much. The key dynamics was exactly this, the discount expansion, hypermarket decline, private label growth, a value-driven consumption growth. These are the key retailers on our market. We have a lot of Italian brands, banners, but also some international leaders. Today we will have the presentation of the SPAR Italy and ARD, that is a discount channel. Italy is in a transition from the traditional supermarket focus to the discount one. The growing formats are discount, supermarket, deal, convenience store, and drugstore. Under pressure, we have hypermarkets, traditional independent store, large peripheral format, and legacy self-service. But why it happens? Because consumers now prefer proximity, speed, convenience, lower basket, and frequent trips. And this is the reason why the discount in the last 10 years has grown 8 points in terms of market share. So shoppers ask for price, for quality, for promotion, for convenience, and for brand. Discount, in this case, has become a mainstream and shopper optimized for value across banners, eroding loyalty to the other channels. In the meantime, we are assisting to another strategic change. The role of private label is started from defensive, so cheapest option in the assortment offer, then became value plus quality. And now, today, we can tell that in Italy, private label are really differentiated in their offer. We have a premium products, premium brand, organic brand, healthy brand, sustainable brand, local brand. So for retailer, this means higher margin, stronger differentiation tool, increased loyalty from their shoppers. For consumer, this means better value perception, quality comparable to national brands. So has evolved from a defensive tool to a key growth platform for retailers now. At the moment, they represent 31% of value share in Italian market. And now we come to the matter of today, fresh departments. They are core in Italy. Fruit and vegetables, meat and butchery are the first two drivers for Italian shoppers to choose a store. And the most interesting point is that if you are growing if you are managing this department very well, you improve your entire store revenue. In fact, there is a spillover effect very strong in Italy. Usually we say that if we manage correctly the produce department, they can lift the total store revenue by 2%. Category management is a strong tool, a strong approach to manage the challenge in our market, because it gives the company the opportunity to have a structured approach in their strategy, define category roles clearly, read and understand shopper and sellout data together, integrate this point of view in a company point of view, define the store and format strategy, assortment and category strategy, define this in store planogram, and the pricing and promo and private label strategy. The key point is anchored this to core target shopper. This is one of the key points that now is characterizing our market. And the second key point is the data sharing among retailers and manufacturers. This is a clear enabler of this strategy, remain critical in our market, still unresolved issue. Without it, category can be done by retailer, can be correctly managed, but it is not optimized. Only the collaboration optimizing the results. So the key takeaways of our market. First point, discount are strongly growing and private label are strongly growing. Shoppers now are value driven and less loyal, and they optimize value across banners. The numbers tell that now on average in Italian consumer visit 7 different stores. Fresh and produce meat above all is the primary battleground for store loyalty. Category management turn these challenges into store strategies. So the winning formula for our market is competitive pricing, strong private label strategy, fresh food excellence, operational efficiency, shopper-led CatMan. Now I leave our speakers the opportunity to show how this aspect work in their reality. So I give the opportunity to Tommaso to introduce himself and the Amadori Group approach to category management. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Antonella. Just a quick introduction of myself. I am a Consumer Marketing Director of Amadori Group. I work in Amadori since 2010, and I'm in charge of Consumer Marketing Department of the company. Let's look how a modern strategic approach can transform a low-margin commodity, the meat category, into a high-performing destination for retailers. Sorry. Just before a short introduction of our group, Amadori is a leading player in the Italian agri-food sector. In 2025, we consolidate this leadership with a turnover of 1.8 billion, and we continually invest back into our system with 87 million euros invested recently. As you can see, our client portfolio includes top global brands like McDonald's, Popeyes, Carrefour, Lidl, and Aldi, alongside major national retailers like Coop, Conad, and Esselunga, and we manage value the highest professional level. The system of Amadori is particular because our financial strength is backed by a fully integrated corporate system. The Amadori system consists of 18 production sites, including 6 food processing plants, 5 hatcheries, and 4 feed mills. And we directly manage or control under strict agreements around 800 farms. And this is very, very important for category management because total control over the supply chain guarantees 2 things that retailers demand: absolutely product quality and flawless operational reliability. We are evolving our strategic approach to the market. Our strategic vision is shifting from being just a poultry company to becoming the Italian protein company. We are diversifying our offering across multiple protein sources to follow evolving consumer habits and protect dietary freedom. We categorize our vision into 4 clear pillars based on consumer needs that are white protein, that mean traditional chicken and turkey meat; yellow proteins, that mean eggs and high-value egg product; pink protein, that mean pork meat segmentation; and green proteins, that mean plant-based and legume-based specialties. We believe that this multi-protein strategy is the foundation of how we look at contemporary category management. Next, I will give you a short introduction of the meat category that Antonella said before is one of the most important category in the retail market in Italy. The large scale is a large-scale market valued at 7.9 billion euro. It's a critical driver for store choice, as Antonella said before, ranking secondly only to fruits and vegetables. However, private label dominates basic natural segment with a massive 79% of volume share. On the other side, the processed meat market is smaller, 664 million euros, but is the real engine for value growth, increasing in the last year. The lesson here is private label controls the commodity segment. Brands cannot compete on price alone, but we must lead through premium innovation. And the other very important things to know is all the producers of branded products are also private label suppliers. So we know the market, we know the consumer, and we know how the products are made. It is very, very important to be successful in the market. The first problem that we have in the market is the language gap that we have between the industry and the shopper. Historically, retailers speak a highly technical language: primary versus secondary processing, avian versus bovine, fixed versus variable weight, and the category is too often treated as a passive cash cow. But the consumer speaks completely another language. They think in its state, so they want quick meal solutions, asking what I can cook in 10 minutes. They want functionality, health, and receipt versatility. So from the shopper point of view, category management means managing solution and not just products. When we mismanage this category, we fall into the cash cow trap, as we call it. The promotional pressure is unsustainably high, nearly 30% for fixed weight, but is higher in the other category of meat segment. And that leads to terrible KPIs. 43% shoppers have switched recently stores to do poor category experience, and fragmented shelf cause choice paralysis and artificially high out of stock perception. So retailers, the first priority in our category for retailers is removing the slow movers. And finally, in the last year, in the last 3 years, retailers recognize that strong collaboration with manufacturers is the only way to avoid category failure. What is the industry role in the category? The industry must act as a category captain. While private labels lead many segments, they are produced by brand name manufacturers who possess the real technical know-how and consumer insight. At Amadori, we invest heavily in proprietary research. We know that 44% of shoppers decide directly at the shelf how to buy, and that the origin and cut format are the absolute gatekeepers in the decision process. By using performance scorecards, we can show retailers exactly where they are missing market potential, moving from basic price flight to joint business planning. So, how to maximizing the category pie and drive the triple win strategy? First of all, growth does not come from a conflict between private label and brand. Growth comes from the synergy to maximize the total category pie. This approach creates a clear triple win. The retailer gets efficiency in inventory and higher sales. The consumer gets better products and fair pricing, and the producers secure sustainable production. The brand's role is to drive innovation, high-end quality perception, and trust. The private label's role is to secure base volume and entry-level price perception. Together, they protect the price ladder and increase average basket value. Obviously, the innovation is one of the most important driver also in our marketing. A lot of market, but in particularly in our market, is the bridge that transforms a generic commodity into a high-value destination. Consumer research shows that price isn't everything. 35% of buying rejection is due to a lack of health or naturalist perception. And our strategic innovation focuses on three clear consumer drivers that are well-being, that is very important in our category, the service level, in particularly for the category that we call elaborati, that are processed meat that save time for modern and busy families, and functionality that is given in our category in terms of content of protein, but is very important to add also other claim to the consumer. So in this situation, brand must occupy these premium white spaces that private labels cannot capture, allowing the PL to focus on core segments. This model balance, in our opinion, margins and increase shopper satisfaction. In this situation, we can really realize a triple win with retailer and consumers. So let me introduce the first of the two case studies that we want to share with you today. The first one is related to one of the most important retailer in Italy, a large national retailer. And the starting point is was a classic Pareto issue. Just 55% of the SKUs generated 90% of the total revenue for us, obviously. And so we implement with the retailer five strategic steps. The first one is assortment optimization with the listed low rotation SKU to improve freshness. The second one was strategic switch. We moved the natural cuts from fixed weight to variable weight that remain very important in the Italian market, in particular for traditional products. Probably this is different related to your market because in Italy still remain very important the variable weight in the meat. The third step was to improve the communication, and we revised the customer journey funnel in the point of sales. The fourth, brand and PL mix. We focused on high value brand SKU with zero overlap between brand and private label. And the last one, it was simplification. We removed the overlapping private label tires to complete a clean price ladder. And the result was a massive stock optimization and a direct reduction in shrinkage. So moving in the case study, here you can see, sorry, we translated this strategy directly into the physical layout of the meat department, a strategic layout, directly drivers of store loyalty. The 87% of consumers purchase from a store environment they trust. We built the layout logic to match the shoppers' exact decision, three priorities that are: first, origin; second, cut form for the receipt; third, occasion; and finally, brand price index. And following the shopper direction, in our opinion, we start the highest value-added impulse product, quick meals and chicken elaborati, and then the more traditional one of the poultry sector, concluding with red meat. I would like to say that it's not the real shelf that you can find today in Italy, but is one of the proposal that we continue to do to our clients in order to add more value to the consumer. We think that the ideal shelf for the meat is something like you see in the slide. The second case study that we want to share with you is completely different, because we are talking about a small local Italian retailer. In this case, he placed prepared fresh meat as the first line of inputs to maximize the euro per kilogram value. We work with the retailer, creating premium quality block, and the category become a destination, completely differentiating the store from large national retailer and discounter. That is the first goal that our client had. And crucial in this project it's also to be the promotional strategy. Deep price cuts destroy category value over time that we see on the data, and data proves that the freshness and quality are the primary reason for the store choice. Price is only a secondary filler. Under the 45% rule, volume uplift completely flattens out beyond a 40% of discount. So our strategy was to optimize discount depth to protect margin, using bundle offers and cross-merchandising to drive real value into the basket. So the takeaways of this journey is mainly four. The first one is speak consumer. Shift your vocabulary from internal technical logistic to consumer need, state, and ready-to-use meal solution. The second is value versus price. We see that when to fight private label dominance, not with price wars, but offering premium functionally and ethical innovation. The third one is data transparency. Probably, as Antonella said before, must trust and open data between retailers and producers. Sharing between retailer and manufacturer are the prerequisite for a real growth. And the first one is operational excellence. Strategy is nothing without flawless execution of the point of sale, specifically shelf visibility and on the shelf availability. Thank you very much for your time. I hope that will be interesting for you. And now I think that's Chiara will introduce.
Did you hear me?
Yes, Chiara.
Did you see the presentation?
Yes, Chiara.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. First of all, thank you to ECR for inviting us to share our experience. My name is Chiara Giunta, and today I would like to tell you a story. Not the story of a category or not the story of department, but the story how category management changed the way our company makes decisions. When we started our ACR journey with Antonella, we thought we were learning a methodology. But looking back today, we realized that we were actually redesigning the way Ergon thinks. Before talking about category management, I would like to briefly introduce Ergon. We are one of Southern Italy, the leading retail group, and we operate 5 different retail formats across Sicily and Southern Italy. The formats are Desper, Eurospar, Interspart. We have also the discount under the brand ARD and also the cash and carry under the brand Altasfera. So we have 5 formats and different shoppers, different shopping mission. But today, every format has common way of making decision. And this is a huge change from the past. Retail is changing faster than ever. Also the customer, as Antonella say, also Matteo say, changing even faster because they are more demanding and also competition has become stronger. The shopping missions are increasingly fragmented. So we realized that improving product was no longer enough. Improving promotion was not enough. We needed to change something much deeper. We needed to change the question we were asking ourselves. We stopped asking, what should we sell? And now we started asking, how do our shoppers choose? There was the real turning point because category management stopped being just a commercial tool for us, but it became our strategic language for every format. Before, many decisions were reactive and we were mainly product-driven. Different teams often worked with different approach and fragmented tools. But today, we start from the shopper and we use one common methodology. We make data-driven decisions and perhaps, even more importantly, we make those decisions all together. The ECR methodology gave us a structured process, but what really mattered was not simple following 8 steps. What mattered was creating a common decision-making framework. Whatever we are discussing, the SPAR, Eurospar, Interspar, the discount, or also the cash and carry, the process starts from the same question. What is the category? What role should it play? And what does the shopper expect? And which action can create real value? So now we have different format and different strategy, but one common methodology. So why start with fresh? We start with fresh. Because fresh department are where shopper choose, where shopper decide, whether they trust a retailer. Because fresh creates traffic and fresh builds trust. Also fresh, such as Antonella say, strongly influences their overall perception of the store. Fruit, vegetables, but also meat were therefore the perfect to test our new approach to category. Because if we could redesign fresh, we knew we could redesign the rest of the store. Such as my boss say, who started out as a fresh food buyer, he always said, if you know how to buy and manage fresh product, you know how to buy and manage all product category. And that's true. Let me give you an example. You can see our department, our vegetable department in ARD store. In the past, we mainly managed product, apple, potatoes, tomatoes, one product after another. But category management changed our perspective because we start with a simple question. How does the shopper choose? So we benchmarked competitors, we analyzed shopper behavior, and suddenly we were no longer managing individual product, but we were designing a destination department. The department and its role have changed because our approach to it has changed. Now let me show you another example. This is the meat department in Eurospar. Again, this was not a simple assortment review. It became a complete department redesign. We reviewed the strategic role of the department. We worked on private label, on premium products, the premium range, and we introduced innovation in the department. we redesigned the way the offer was presented to the shopper. Every decision became more coherent because every decision started from the same methodology. The counter changed because our mindset had changed first. So at this point, something very, very important happened in Ergon. Category management stopped being a project and it became our operating system. Today, all decisions such as promotion, pricing, follow category role. Private label is designed to fill strategic category gap. Store layout support shopper behavior, and investment internally are discussed using data and not yet opinion. To support this change, we also have updated our IT system, Limitless. Limitless was developed in-house by Ergon, by my colleague Giuseppe Iurato, to bring together fragmented category-related analysis, prices, product range, planogram, into a single shared workshop that supports every category management decision across all retail brands. For us, it's very, very important because when a methodology truly becomes part of your culture, you stop adapting a fixing tool and you start building your own. So, looking back in Ergon, what changed? What changed inside Ergon? The great transformation was not in our stores. It was inside our whole organization. It was much deeper. Today, buyers, operation, marketing, sales teams, everybody speaks the same language. And we have more structured decision, better cross-functional collaboration, and a shared methodology. Also, a deeper understanding of the shopper mission and a more consistent retail strategy across our different 5 formats. But of course, this is still a journey. We are still learning, we are still improving, but today we have a common direction and a common way of making decisions. And for us, I think that is one of the greatest results of this transformation. So I would like to leave you with one final thought. Many companies implement category management. Our experience has been slightly different. Category management did not simply improve our categories, but it changed the way our Ergon thinks. It changed the way we make decisions, and ultimately, it changed the way we design retail. Thank you so much for your attention.
Chiara, thank you so much. Welcome back, Tommaso, Fatima, and Antonella. That was an extraordinary 40 minutes we've just heard. And I think it was a snapshot of really an example of everything which is happening right now in retailing and with collaboration between retailers and suppliers. Just before we go on, great if you can stop sharing, Chiara. I think we're just seeing your screen still. Thanks. Fatima talked about global structure and local relevance, and how important category management is, particularly when we're in time of change. When lifestyles change and when consumers are changing. And Antonella, you gave a snapshot of the Italian market, which really is a snapshot of how customers and shoppers are behaving all over the world, because they're behaving very similarly. There is a cost of living crisis and customers are looking for more value. That puts pressure on having the right balance, as Tommaso pointed out, between brands and private label. Not just that they're there in competition, but they have to provide an offering to the shopper in a time when we have a cost of living crisis and when shoppers are looking for value. And Antonella, you correctly pointed out, which is backed up by Tommaso, how important fresh and produce is. It's not just a battlefield, it's what consumers want as the importance and relevance and protein increases. And as there is more increase in health and more priority to shoppers around the world in health and wellness. And all of those facts were recently published in the ECR Community Annual Global Trends, which we released about 3 months ago. The global rise of health and wellness and the global rise of the importance of shopper missions. And Tommaso, I thought your points were really relevant when you talked about having an appropriate balance between private label and brands. I thought it was quite risky, and I'd be interested, first of all, we're happy to take any questions if you want to do. Before we go on, Chiara, maybe you could stop sharing your screen, if you can do that, and we can just see our pictures. Fantastic, thank you. Tommaso, was there much resistance when you started range rationalization and delisting the slower selling SKUs?
The most difficulty is you need to sometimes you need to say to our client, okay, you have a lot of product that doesn't work on the shelf because in the year they ask us to open new SKUs and to go to the clients and saying, okay, your range is too big, you have too much reference, you need to reduce your product and put some branded product in order to create a real value to the consumer. It's not easy. Not all the retailers are happy to hear that from us, but the real value in the project is to share the data and to also the data that we have and give us a real fact-based analysis that can allow starting the discussion and after that to find the right solution. The important thing is it must be a very customized approach for different retailers, because in Italy the retail market is particularly because we have big retailers, big national retailers, but we have a lot of small brand retailer, local retailer, and so it's not easy to have a unique approach. The methodology and the theory is the same, but you need to customize the approach for each retailer.
Okay, and look, that makes sense. I mean, like Italy is a large country with a huge population and a very large geographical landmass. I presume there are different trends in different parts of Italy.
Yes, different parts, and each region in Italy have typical dishes, typical products. In particular, also in our category, it's very particularly not in the poultry sector, because the poultry sector is more or less the same. The offerings is the same, but if you consider the entire meat market, the differentiation is very, very important from local to national retailers. And so also national retailers must be able to intercept the local need of their customers.
And Tommaso, when you were starting to work with your retailers and your customers, in many cases, is this the first time that they have put forward category management for the meat section?
Yes, someone do that, but you need to choose the right client to trying to apply the methodology, because it's not easy, as Antonella say, because we work together in some project, and the difficulty is to find the right retailers to apply the project, and then use this case, okay, to share with other client the success case, and try to improve the project in other client. But it's not easy. But something is moving in Italy right now, so probably we'll be able to do something new with client. talking with a couple of clients that are interested. It's not easy, but we try to do that.
Tommaso,
No,
come
you're
here in
right.
Sicily and work together.
Yes, absolutely.
That's an invitation you can't turn down, Tommaso. But look, it highlights it's not easy, but the rewards are there, certainly for within the meat section for working with retailers. Chiara, you left us with one of the most inspiring quotes I've heard in a long time. Category management changed how Ergon thinks, decides, and grows. Wow, what a statement. And your journey of category management has been recent, and this project is many things, but one of the things it is a project in education and change management. There must have been great resistance when you started out in this path. Was there, and how did you overcome it?
I would like to say that the biggest internal resistance was changing the mindset within the buying team. Traditional category review, assortment decision, and the new product listing were often strongly influenced by supplier negotiation and by commercial contribution connected to new listing. The real change was moving from a supplier-driven approach to a shopper-driven and data-driven approach. Today, we review category thought a structured and recognized process. We combine internal performance data, market data, shopper insight, and competitive behavior benchmarks to understand what the category really needs. We start from the role of category, and then we build the assortment. This does not mean that suppliers are less important. On the contrary, they are key partners. But today, the starting point is different. First, we define the role of the category and identify its real opportunity gap. And then we engage with supplier to build the right solution for the category. For me, this mindset shift has been one of the most difficult parts of the transformation, but also one of the most valuable.
Of course. It's inspiring, Chiara. And have you talked a lot about produce this morning. Have you applied category management to the protein sector also?
Yes, also another category in the department of the category such as wellness, such as skincare, also another.
Fantastic. We have a question from Julian in Hofragga. How do you manage to cover local differences in planogram creation process? Chiara, can you hear me?
Sorry?
How do you manage to cover local differences in creating planograms? Do you allow for
planograms?
local?
So we also use with planograms. So we also use the limitless now. First, we go to the shop and we made the planogram into the shop. Now we use limitless first, and then we go to the shops and make the planogram into the shop. But before we use limitless.
Brilliant. Okay, thanks. Antonella, first of all, congratulations on being such an expert in category management in Italy and in working with so many retailers and manufacturers to develop their journey through category management. And I think you show a high level of insight and understanding and practical expertise. So congratulations and thanks for your involvement in preparing today's webinar. You said you finished off with category management has the solutions.
Yes.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it is a solution, and it is a base to start changing your way to approach your strategy. As Tommaso told, and also Chiara explained, category management is a key way to approach differently to retail businesses, starting from shopper, understanding their own shopper, and try to build trust and and the loyalty that I have, as the data show, are declining in Italy. So category management help the company to do this. If only if they approach to category management as a strategy, not just a project, as a strategy, a strategic approach, a change management approach in terms of relationship inside the companies and the relationship between partners, manufacturers, and retailers. So it works very well inside the company and both in a relationship, and helps to decline general strategy in local strategy. I have seen among the questions that someone put in our chat during this webinar, how we cover the local. The local you can be understood only if you read shopper behaviors category by category, and only if you do this you can differentiate your strategy. So category management naturally is key to do this, and is key to manage correct relationship between manufacturers and retailers. This is my opinion and the result that I achieved in these 30 years working on these matters. We don't hear you, Declan.
Well said, Antonella, and thanks, and wish you continued success in forwarding category management and its output in Italy. But Fatima, the last word from you. What a brilliant presentation we've had today. Is there as much fresh food category management in Brazil? And any final thoughts?
We have, thank you for the presentations. We have a lot of great insights based on the Tommaso and Chiara. The most important, I think, is shopper in the center, as Antonella told us. And a lot of companies in Brazil say, I'm doing the CatMan, but I don't know the shopper behavior, even the shopper decision tree, nothing about the shopper. So there is no CatMan without to put the shopper in the center. The second, to involve other areas, especially commercial area, in the CatMan, because the most barrier in Brazil, at least, is to the fight in CatMan area and commercial area in order to the commercial policies. So, and the last one is Tommaso told us to bring the language of the shopper for the center of the discussions. So thank you for a lot of these insights.
Thank you, Fatima. Chiara and Tommaso and Matteo, who can't be with us today, thanks so much for preparing for today and for just representing so brilliantly both your companies and fresh food category management. Let's see if we can have future webinars that deeper explore category management for fresh food. And if you just stay on after the call, we can do a quick catch up once I finish up. Fatima, Antonella, thank you so much. It's been brilliant. I look forward to our next two webinars that look at the 8-step process to category management. Very often, all of us who are involved in category management, what we want to hear is from our peers, from other category managers, from other retailers and manufacturers as to what projects they do, how they work, what challenges they had, how they overcome it, and ultimately what the shopper and the customer thinks. I think we did that today brilliantly. It's been a fantastic webinar. The recording of the webinar and the presentations will be on the CatMan Network website as soon as we can. Thank you, everyone, and take care and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.